Chapter 9. Sumantra relates a tradition that a son will be born through the help of the sage Rishyasringa. Sumantra, having heard of the preparations for the great sacrifice, approached King Dasaratha with a reverent bow. In a voice filled with both respect and anticipation, he sought a private audience with the sovereign. When they were alone, the wise minister began to speak, recounting the sacred lore he had learned from the venerable Brahmins of yore. "O noble king," he began, "what I am about to relate is no ordinary tale, but a prophecy from the lips of the exalted Sanat Kumara himself, the eternal sage who transcends time and space. In the distant past, surrounded by a circle of enlightened sages, the blessed Sanat Kumara revealed a prophecy of destiny, a prediction that concerns not only your kingdom but your very lineage, O Dasaratha." King Dasaratha's eyes gleamed with curiosity, and Sumantra continued. "The great Sanat Kumara, radiant like the rising sun, spoke of a time when you would be childless and in need of an heir. He foresaw that in those days the son of the sage Kasyapa, named Vibhandaka, would have a son unlike any other, a rishi named Rishyasringa. This young sage, it was foretold, would grow up secluded in the depths of the forest, far from the gaze of any human being, knowing neither men nor women, living in the purest austerity under the watchful guidance of his father. His days would pass in rigorous observance of the twofold vow of the sacred discipline of chastity and self-control, as prescribed by the ancient seers. He would be wholly devoted to the worship of the gods through fire sacrifice and to the service of his father, never allowing his mind to stray from his path." Sumantra paused, allowing the weight of these words to sink in, before he resumed, "In the kingdom of Anga, O king, ruled by a monarch named Lomapada, a calamity would soon unfold. King Lomapada, it was said, would fall into great sin, oppressing his people through negligence and greed, causing the gods themselves to withdraw their blessings. The land of Anga would be struck by a terrible drought, as the rains refused to fall, and the earth, once fertile, would wither and crack. The rivers would dry up, the crops would fail, and the people, suffering without water, would cry out in desperation. In his despair, King Lomapada would summon the wisest of his Brahmins, those who were versed not only in the affairs of men, but also in the divine laws that govern the universe." The minister's voice grew softer, more contemplative, as he painted the scene of the drought-stricken kingdom. The king, with trembling voice, would implore the sages, "O learned ones, you who know both the ways of the world and the hidden truths of the cosmos, tell me what rite of atonement I must perform to wash away my sins. What sacrifice can I offer to bring the rains and restore my people's welfare?" Sumantra's voice now took on a tone of urgency as he relayed the Brahmin's response. "The Brahmins, after deep deliberation, would counsel the king thus. There is but one way, O king, for the heavens to open and for the rains to fall once more upon your lands. You must by all means bring the son of sage Vibhandaka, the holy Rishyasringa, to your kingdom. His very presence will summon the life-giving waters from the skies, for he is a being of such purity and power that the gods themselves cannot ignore his influence. Once he has come, you must offer your daughter, the virtuous Princess Shanta, to him in marriage." Dasaratha, intrigued, leaned forward, eager to hear how this improbable task was accomplished. Sumantra's eyes sparkled with the richness of the tale as he continued. "Yet the challenge of bringing the young sage to the king's court was no small matter," Sumantra explained. "The ministers and priests of Lomapada, well aware of Rishyasringa's formidable power and purity, feared approaching him directly. They knew that sage Vibhandaka had kept his son isolated from the world, guarding his innocence with fierce protectiveness. Who among them could dare face the wrath of such a rishi?" Sumantra's voice lowered, and Dasaratha listened intently as the minister recounted the cunning plan devised by Lomapada's council. In their desperation, the king's advisers proposed a solution, one that would require both ingenuity and audacity. "O king," they said, "we cannot face the sage directly, but there is a way known since time immemorial. The innocence of the rishi can be swayed by those who are well versed in the arts of persuasion. Send your most beautiful and skilled courtesans, trained in charm and allure, to the forest. Let them approach the young Rishyasringa not as strangers, but as beings of another world, for he has never seen the like of them before. Through their guile and grace, they will coax the rishi to leave his hermitage and enter your kingdom." Sumantra smiled as he spoke, and so it was. The courtesans, adorned in silks and jewels, ventured into the forest where the sage dwelled in isolation. They appeared before Rishyasringa not as mortals but as celestial beings, their presence bewildering and captivating him. He, knowing nothing of the world beyond the forest, was enchanted by their songs, their laughter, and their playful charms. Slowly they drew him away from his secluded life and led him to the court of King Lomapada. As soon as his feet touched the soil of the kingdom, the skies opened and the rains poured down upon the parched land, ending the drought and restoring life to the earth. Sumantra's voice became reverent once more as he reached the prophecy's conclusion. In gratitude, King Lomapada gave his daughter Shanta, your own beloved child, in marriage to Rishyasringa. And it is said, O king, that through the power of this great rishi, whose purity rivals that of the gods, the son you so desperately seek will be born. Through the performance of the Ashwamedha and the oblations poured into the sacred fire by Rishyasringa, your lineage shall be blessed with a son who will carry forth your legacy." Dasaratha, his heart swelling with joy and hope, clasped Sumantra's hand. "Tell me more, my wise friend. Tell me how Rishyasringa was brought into the court and the full details of this wondrous tale." And thus, the minister prepared to recount the further adventures of the sage, the courtesans, and the fulfillment of the divine prophecy. As King Dasaratha eagerly awaited the destiny that lay ahead,